Elite in the Flora London Marathon finished about an hour ago. But most of the record 27,000 starters are still on the course, many with miles to go. In the women's race, the outstanding winner was Scotland's Liz McColgan, who said she was getting back to her best and proved it. McColgan's winning time, 2 hours, 27 minutes, 54 seconds. Chepchumba, Kenyan in second place, and Sabańska, of Poland, last year's winner, was third.
All right.
Okay, I'm running.
It was a fantastic win in very demanding conditions. You're back at your best.
Yeah, I felt really good out there and it was absolutely amazing. The support was tremendous and, you know, I've put a lot of good work into it for this race and it's not nearly what I'm doing for the Olympics, but I knew I was in good shape and to come back, we were so slow at the halfway and I felt so terrible, and it wasn't until I got into my own pace that I started to feel good. So I'm really pleased. Greta's did tremendous work with me and I'm really thankful to her. And like, I've got to thank my husband too, because he's the backbone of my sport, and you know, I'm just really pleased that everything went okay. I felt great, my legs feel great, which is good, so that means that I could start going on with the preparation for the Olympics now.
You were a long way behind. Did you realise that Hackenstad was beginning to tire?
No, well, what happened was I think we hit about 7 miles and Greta shouted to me, she says, "You're 400 metres down." And I said to her, "Well, I pick it up?" And she says, "Yeah." So I picked it up. And then I thought to myself, well, geez, I don't want to go too early because I was feeling good, but, you know, there was a crowd there, a pack with me, so I sort of settled back down again, and then she shouted, "You're 2 minutes behind, pick it up!" So I just went, and then the Kenyan girl came with me, and I thought she looked pretty strong. But then I didn't pick up, I just kept the pace going, and I got away from them. And I actually ran the second half about 2 minutes or 3 minutes faster than the first half, so that goes to show I'm in great shape. And unfortunately for us, the wind was in our face most of the way, so hence the slow time. But my legs felt great, and I had absolutely tremendous support right there. It was just unbelievable. I was able to focus so well because they were just all, you know, shouting on me. And it makes a tremendous difference. And, you know, I'm just really happy now, you know, that I can go away now and be really confident for the Olympics now.
Yeah, a spring marathon, so much for it. I mean, it's more like the conditions you'll face in Atlanta, minus the humidity. It's been a useful exercise in that respect.
Well, I mean, you know, the London was a preparation race. To be honest, you know, I didn't do full marathon training for it. After the Great North Run last year, myself and Greta and Peter and Jack sat down and we decided that the best option for me was to definitely do the London, but to prepare like a 10k runner with a couple of long runs, which is what we've done. So now I'm going to go away. The training will be solely marathon training now. Pardon me. And hopefully, you know, I'll be able to pull it off at the big one. Well, but I'm feeling really good, so, you know, that's the main thing. I'm really healthy now, and, you know, touch wood, if you know, barring injuries, nobody's going to stop me.
Well, it's obvious this means so much to you. Very well done.
I mean, I've had a hectic 3 years. I mean, people could not believe what my family's been through with the injuries that I've got. And, you know, it comes around for those who work for it, and, you know, I firmly believe that it was a test for me, you know, and I've came through it a better person, and I've got a lot of help on my side, and, you know, I'm sure I'm going to go further in the future now.
It's great to see you back. Well done.
Thanks very much, and thanks to all the support out there. It was absolutely tremendous. Thanks.
A familiar figure led the men home, Cerrón of Mexico, winning the race for the third year in succession. His winning time, 2 hours 10 minutes exactly. Rousseau of Belgium second, and Paul Evans, a Belgrave Harrier, Great Britain, in third place, 2 hours 10 minutes 40 seconds. The second Briton to finish was in ninth place, another Belgrave Harrier, Gary Staines. He was home in 2 hours 12 minutes 54 seconds.
Well, this was the finish of the men's wheelchair race, another three-time winner of the London Wheelchair Marathon, David Holding of Great Britain. And that's the official result. David Holding there, 1:43.48, the second fastest time ever. Bogdan Kroll it was, in fact, who got second place. Jack McKenna, his highest ever finish, in third place. And the man we originally gave a second, Ivan Newman, he finished in fourth. Tanni Gray slipped through the net somewhat because she finished some way ahead of Rose Hill, who we originally gave as first. A magnificent performance by Tanni Gray. She set a new course record, winning the women's wheelchair race for the third time. Well, earlier on in the day, 2.8 miles was the distance for the mini marathoners, some 2,000 of them between the ages of 11 and 17. all athletes from the London boroughs. They're all the winners for the boys and girls races. And in the wheelchair marathon, David Weir and Tushar Patel, they both won their races last year. They win again in 1996. Well, previewing the Heart to Heart Challenge. That's Bobby Davra there. A 1 mile race for celebrities, 26 of them pounding the streets. We're going to be seeing that a little bit later on. Bobby Davra, possibly the biggest audience he's ever played to here in the Mall, but thoroughly enjoying himself.
Well, still trying to complete that long journey of 26 miles, 385 yards, the classic marathon distance. So many of the runners, some with problems, but all receiving immediate attention. The conditions today have not been good for marathon running. Temperature in the 70s, and as Liz McColgan suggested, there was a bit of a headwind as well. Brendan.
Well, the temperature out there now, they've been going over 3 hours, is 23 degrees, and that's really warm. And it's come so suddenly for us that the runners who've been training and preparing for this marathon haven't had a chance to get acclimatized in the weeks leading up to it. So I think it's going to be quite difficult out there today, but the atmosphere, hopefully the supporters on the course will just keep them going. And they are keeping going, and this is good running in a marathon. Let's not forget they're just 3¼ hours now, and they've got every right to celebrate, and you can certainly sure that as they come across the line they will celebrate, and they deserve it. The miles of preparation have gone into this, and the hours of thinking about it, and then 24 hours coming to London yesterday, and then spending 24 hours worrying about it. That seems to be what they concern themselves with.
There's a guy out there, by the way, got married yesterday, run the marathon today, finished in about 3 hours, and starts exams tomorrow.
One of the great features of this London Marathon course, the City Pride and Docklands. Musicians still going, or contributing towards one of the greatest atmospheres in any sporting event in the world.
Yes, don't break my heart in two. If you leave me, baby, I don't know what I'll do. It's you I love, baby. You're the one for me. Yeah, you I love, baby. You're the one. If you leave me, baby, I'll be sad.
Incidentally, we've got 2 reporters out on the course, Sue Barker, Tower Bridge, and Tim Vincent, who's at the 17-mile mark.
Minnie, what's your name? Sally. Why are you dressed as Minnie Mouse today?
I'm raising money for charity.
What charity?
There's Chilham School in Blackheath that my goddaughter goes to.
How much are you hoping to raise today?
About 800.
I notice lots of the crowd is shouting Minnie as you go along. Do you find that helps you?
Absolutely, it's fantastic. The atmosphere's unbelievable.
Is this your first marathon?
No.
How many have you done? 10 marathons. Well, Minnie, hopefully Mickey will be at the end. See you soon. Bye.
Well, a large group here. Are you all running together? Obviously,
we're all barbershop singers, and we're all running for the Multiple Sclerosis Resource Centre.
Oh, could you give us a quick verse then?
Yeah, we can give you a quick verse.
Yeah, go on. Up there. There you go.
F, gentlemen, F. Stop. Stop. Last night alone.
Last night alone on our way home, you turned and said to me, I love you so, and I want to know, what do you think about me? Sweet and lovely, that's what you are to me. Sugar and spice and everything nice, you're all a girl should be. Soon we'll marry, you'll be my blushing bride.
They never sang that to Bob Wilson.
What's your name? Dave Bristol. Do you find it hard, Dave, with a bear on your back, jogging? Unbearable. That's the worst joke I've heard today. Why are you doing it with a bear on your back?
Oh, for the NSPCC, to publicise the Kite for Children campaign that's happening in May.
How much money do you hope to raise today?
Because it's not about money for me, really. It's about the publicity, really. I don't really know.
It must be extremely hard with all this heat today. Do you find the crowd are cheering you on?
Oh, they're wonderful, absolutely wonderful. But Pooh's having a bit of trouble with the wind.
Okay, see you later. Keep going.
Well, I've just seen one of the 32 runners who are running in the Run for Ron, the Ron Pickering Memorial Fund. Our former colleague Ron and his wife Jean runs the charity which raises money to help young athletes coming on their way, and they've got 32 runners out there today. They're all raising money for that worthy cause, and they've helped some good up-and-coming athletes, and we remember that one, Run for Ron.
That's right.
Well, they certainly have. We've seen a lot of the young athletes on display at tracks, indoor tracks all over the country, and looking for great things, and some for Olympic selection later on this year. 42407 there, just taking things easy and quite sensibly taking water on board. Jeff Williams it is from Nottingham. Reckons he's going to finish in around about 4 hours today. Going to be some sore feet. One of the rhinos again. Save the Rhino Fund. 18146. That's Ian Spooner of Sunbury-on-Thames, a policeman. And again, he looks as though he's going to finish in something like 4 hours, which, believe me, is a terrific achievement, considering all the weight he's got to carry around. Still the City Pride rocking and rolling in the background. Spectators, such an important part of this event. Every runner almost being carried along on a wave of emotion, enthusiasm. And looking good. There's still some very good club athletes out there on the course who'll be looking towards personal bests, but many of the runners, of course, and some 12,000 of them running their first ever marathon, just enjoying the experience and saying, tomorrow I did it.
Well, now the presentations taking place for the elite runners. Joyce Chepchumba, the Kenyan. Paul Evans. Oh, it's Russo, that is. Actually, not Paul Evans. Russo will finish second. Those are the two athletes who finished second. And this lady, the winner, the very popular winner of the women's elite race, Liz McColgan. Winning the London Marathon for the first time. Next stop, the Olympics. Here is the familiar figure, Dionisio Cerrón of Mexico. Winner of the London Marathon, sponsored this year by Flora, for the third year in succession. He too will be at the Games. Well, now Paul Evans was in good form today, expected to run well, he did. He got the bronze medal. He's talking now to Hazel Irvine.
Paul, your third London Marathon is a third place, and that could be good enough to secure the last Olympic spot.
Yeah, hopefully. It's tough out there today. It's very hot. I felt halfway through the race it got very tactical, but I hung in there because I knew towards the end it was going to start to hot up, and it did. And in the end I'm just thankful I held on for third place.
Do you think you've done enough to go to Atlanta now?
Who knows? I just have to wait and see.
Obviously that's your main target, and it's going to be equally hot, if not hotter, and very much more humid in Atlanta. Were conditions really difficult out there today?
Yeah, very difficult, because you have to take so much drink on board. It's very difficult.
I know you were training in South Africa. You're down to your lightest weight ever. Are you feeling the strain of it now?
I am now, yeah, I'm very tired.
Well, go and have a lie down. Thank you very much, and very well done.
Thanks very much, Ingrid.
Thanks, Paul. Congratulations.
Well, Paul's a great inspiration for the joggers, because Paul was a regular pub footballer, and then the whole team entered the Lowestoft Carnival 10k race, and Paul finished 7th, and his coach of the football team, Harry Goldspring, said to him, "Hey Paul, I don't like to say this, but you're a much better runner than you're a footballer." And he retired from football, and now he's 3rd in the London Marathon, so there's a message in that one for people.
David Brennan, what are you dressed as?
Well, I'm going as a jockey, but I lost my horse about 2 miles, and I've been looking for him ever since.
And what's all this on the side?
A couple of big ones, big balloons.
I'm finding it hard enough keeping up with you running alongside. You must find it very difficult with all this stuff on.
Yeah, I'm very hot, but it's great for the kids, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Are you doing anything for charity?
Yes, I'm doing it for Great Ormond Street, and for the kids, it's a great cause.
And you're certainly entertaining the crowd. Keep going, you've got 9 miles to go.
Thank you.
Well, if anybody sitting at home has been inspired by this magnificent event, a date for your diary, Sunday the 15th of September, this year, the Bupa Great North Run. In about 5 minutes' time, we're going to give you details of how you can enter, so have a pencil and paper ready. That could be another experience of a lifetime. And this is certainly the experience of a lifetime for many of these people.
You do? Oh, I've never played you at tennis, sir, have I? Can we have a dance? Right, Sue, come on then.
Right, what are you doing today, you lot?
We're running the cancer research campaign based at Harpenden. Philomena and Roche and all the girls, Julie, everyone, at the head office in Harpenden. And if we get mentioned on TV, we get double money, Sue.
Excellent.
Double money.
Fantastic. Why the Teddy boys?
Well, he's getting on a bit, this lad. And what can I say? Thank you very much, Bob.
Isn't it an added...
You sat me. Hi.
Brian, you're the first man I've seen running in Wellingtons.
Is it? Yeah, it's very hard. They're full of water as well, unfortunately.
And you're dressed as Paddington Bear. Why?
Action research.
You're hoping to raise lots of money for them.
Yes, lots.
If there's anybody else in your group running today?
We've got over 20 from Nesmaya Harriers York running here.
What's the most difficult thing about running like this?
You just got to grin and bear it, really.
Is this your first marathon?
No, I've done London 11 and I've done 17 other marathons.
17 marathons. And how does this one compare?
It's the best in the world.
The crowd are fantastic, aren't they, shouting?
Brilliant, yeah.
We'll get plenty of water down you.
I will.
You haven't got too far to go.
No.
Take it to the sights of London. Good luck with the charity.
Well, that's a great endorsement for the organisers of the London Marathon, the greatest in the world, and that was certainly something that Chris Brasher and John Disley set out to do. Their objectives to bring people together from all over the world to take part in a running celebration.
And talking about the inspiration behind the London Marathon, Chris Brasher, he's out on the course today, running around supporting 3 fellow members of Thames Hare and Hounds Running Club, which he's a member of. He tells me they're the oldest running club in the world. And his ambition for the London Marathon has been exceeded over the years, and he says he's continually astounded by the human spirit, the extraordinary men and women, he says, of unsuitable shapes and sizes who managed to complete the London Marathon. And here we are looking at it now, and in the whole history of the London Marathon, by 12 o'clock today, there'll have been 300,000 finishers over the 16 years. And every one of them's got a story to tell, and another 25, 26 or 27,000 stories unfolded today.
There you are, the finishers after 3 hours 25 minutes, 3,287. That is incredible. These are good runners who are finishing now. Well, we showed you the caption a little earlier on. The winner of the women's wheelchair race, Tanni Gray, and we can hear her now.
Tanni, well done. A course record in 10 minutes ahead of Rose, your great rival. You can't ask for much more.
No, I'm really pleased. I was pushing really well in the first few miles, and I started to drop around Cuddy Sark, so I thought I'd just go for it, put my head down, and worked really hard. So it's great. I had a really good day today.
Victory in the London Marathon is always very special, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great race. I didn't do it last year, and this year it was a great atmosphere out there. And I mean, there's so many people through the Isle of Dogs, and that really helped as well, because normally that's a bit of a lonely place. But it was absolutely fantastic, and the weather was just great too.
Now, like David Holding, the men's winner, you two are going to be going for the sprints in Atlanta. What do you do with your training now?
My training doesn't really change too much. I'm keeping fairly high mileage for the next month or so, and it's just to make sure that I'm really fit for when I go to Atlanta, because the weather's going to be a real problem out there. So over the next month I'll start doing a bit more speed work and drop down, but London's sort of a good thing to focus on in between, so you don't get too stressed out about Atlanta. But now it's nice, and just get my head back down and start thinking about Atlanta properly.
Wish you all the very best for the summer, and well done today.
Thank you very much.
Well done to Tanni Gray and Chris Hallam. That really was an outstanding performance, wasn't it?
Yes, I mean, Tanni put up a course record 3 minutes faster than Rose did a couple of years ago, and she's really looking good for the Paralympics. In Barcelona, she took 4 gold medals in the 100, 200, 400 and 800, and I think she's on target to do that again. Things are looking really good for Tanni.
Thanks, Chris. Well, you know what it's like to win the London Marathon twice. Tanni has now done it 3 times. An outstanding achievement. Same as David Holding. Same as Saron in the men's elite race as well. Well, we promised you a few minutes ago that we'd give you details of how you can enter the Bupa Great North Run, a half marathon, of course. There you have it. Sunday, the 15th of September. Entry forms and information. There's a hotline in operation, 01538 702 492. Or you can write to the Bupa Great North Run, P.O. Box 1RY, Newcastle upon Tyne, NE 99 1BB. So they'll be handling all the inquiries about that great race later on this year.
Hello? How you doing? As if I need to ask, who are you running for? Save the Rhino! There are 1, 2, 3, 4 of you. What time are you hoping to do it in? Who knows? Hopefully sort of 5.5 hours. It's amazing that you can even walk with this thing on. What's the most uncomfortable bit about it? Holding on to the head, it tends to bounce up and down a bit. Well, keep going. Thank you very much. See you later on, bye.
Okay, a group of sunflowers here, why?
Well, we thought with the Flora London Marathon, what else could you be? I mean, really, you're out of sorts too, aren't you? You're not dressed for the occasion.
You're getting a lot of reaction from the crowd.
A lot of reaction. They've been absolutely fantastic. They've shouted us every step of the way. As long as they shout us the other 13 miles, we'll be fine.
Oh, and you all look so fresh.
Well, we're flowers and it's sunny and we're sunflowers.
Excellent, good luck.
Well, the London Marathon this year, full of new initiatives, and we're going to have a look at one of them now. The Heart to Heart Challenge. The British Heart Foundation, one of the official charities of the London Marathon. And when we do see it, we'll see 26 celebrities running together to represent the 26 miles in the full marathon course. And each one of them is going to be partnered today by a member of the public who is raising funds for the British Heart Foundation, and also to run alongside their favourite celebrity. And they were chosen in various media competitions over the last few months, so a tremendous experience for them.
Well, you're probably enjoying your retirement from the captaincy. You've got another boss here today, haven't you?
Well, I have, yeah, and a very strict one too, so I'm going to be under strict orders for a mile, I think.
Jacqueline, you're going to be calling the shots today. Tell me how you've managed to secure this run with Will today.
Well, I entered a competition into the Daily Mirror, and I had to say, why I wanted to win a mile with Will.
And why is that?
Well, it was for a very good cause. At the end of the day, it was for the British Heart Foundation. And at the end of the day, you don't get a chance every day to win a mile with Will Carlin, do you?
Charles Kennedy, some years ago I met you and you said that you definitely wanted to get fit. This is it, is it?
Is this getting fit? I'm looking forward to a pint when this is over. I think it's very hot out here. Anyway, 1 mile is enough. I'm not going the extra mile, as they always say in politics. But you see, as a Lib Dem, do I run on the left-hand side of the road or the right-hand side of the road, or do I get run over in the middle?
Now, Will, tell me, what are you and the other celebrities hoping to achieve here today?
Not to be laughed at, I think, really, by Jacqueline. But no, I think it's just awareness for the British Heart Foundation. It's a good cause, and all the partners, raise a lot of money. So it's great, and luckily it's only a mile.
Angela, I think the last time we saw you come out from beneath the newsreader's desk was the Morecambe and Wise show. You're at it again.
Well, yes, only this time we've got the legs covered up. I think once is enough. Just hope they can last out.
So a big cheer for all the celebrities and all of their partners as well. Judging by some of the statuesque figures there, it really is a good job. It's only a mile. But some great names of entertainment in there. Bobby Davro's in there somewhere. Will Carling and Angela Rippon, of course. And Uri Geller is in there somewhere. I hope he doesn't start thinking about the race too much. Otherwise, we might have a few problems with the timing clock. Efena Koku, just gone through the picture there. Wimbledon striker. Dr. Hilary Jones, one of television's medical pundits. Mark Foster, unfortunately the world sprint swimming champion, couldn't be with us today. There's Angela. I wonder how many times she's run a mile. Angela being partnered by George Eastwood. And once again, of course, all these people raising money. This time for the British Heart Foundation. There's a couple of Chippendales in there somewhere as well. I hope they've got a tracksuit on today. Incidentally, out on the course, on the main course there, doing the 26 miles, Adrian Dodson, former British boxing champion. I think that's one of the Chippendales there. Indeed it is. Kyle Benner with his partner Rudy Sugar. Very glad, I'm sure, that they haven't got another 25 miles to go. Angela Rippon now just decided, well, let's just take a little walk. Will Carling going some way below the pace he's normally used to. Bobby Davro having a joke with one of the policemen out on the course. His father, incidentally, Bill Nankerville, a former Olympic 1500-metre runner. So Bobby Davro's got a good pedigree, but I don't suppose he's taking this very seriously. So a big cheer for the heart-to-heart challenge runners as they enter the mile. Stephen Lane it is who's in the lead. Chippendale is still there as well. I think they're going to try and put on a bit of race. Stephen Lane, I think one of the people who won the competition, and the various national newspapers who ran this on behalf of the London Marathon organisers, just having his moment of glory. Well done to Stephen Lane. Kyle Benner there in second place with his partner Rudy Sugar. They finish third. Looking out for, well, there's Will and Angela. There's normally 75,000 people at Twickenham that cheer on Will Carling. Chris Lewis there, the cricketer. Bobby Davro. I'm sure he was trying to have a conversation with that traffic light, but Davro doing what he does best, acting the clown.
Well done.
Robert Duncan coming across the line with Darryl Stafford, John Leslie and Angela Lim getting a big cheer. Diane Louise Jordan, Jeffrey Kingston coming across as well. Charles Kennedy somewhere in the background, Member of Parliament. He's in familiar territory. The former England captain, but he had a great season this year in the Five Nations Championship.
Wonderful job for us. I can tell you that as the women's event, that he did indeed hang very, very slightly.
Well, still waiting for Bobby Davro, putting on a show. And as I said, one of the biggest crowds he's probably ever performed in. There must be, well, goodness knows how many, 250,000 people in the Mall. Waiting for the finish of the elite runners a little later on. Thank you very much, says Mr. Davro, and thank you very much, says the British Heart
Bobby,
Foundation.
we're keeping it in the family today, but you look really terrible.
Yeah, no, I feel great. It's the best time. That took me about, what, an hour, Dad? I'm improving. Hour for about a mile. I've told everyone it's 26 miles, but I had the Jim Peters look about me. This is my dad, Bill Nankerville, the famous England miler, and he trains me, and I'm getting better every year.
Has he been taking your advice?
Oh yes. I've told him to run with one leg to start with, and when he gets the other one going, run with two.
Run with two. I've got the hang of it now, you know.
Yeah. Diane and Jeffrey, the dream team, is that how it turned out?
Well, I thought I've got a nice young man here, very quiet, polite, and said he'd done no training, so I thought that's great, no training, he'll be nice and steady. And actually I run, I do sort of a couple of miles most days, so I thought this would be no problem. But the fact is, I jog and he sprints, and I couldn't keep up with him, and he wouldn't wait for me, and it was just awful. So at one stage, John Leslie's also doing this run. John ran past me and I thought, well, he's got long legs and he's done a marathon, a mile be nothing. So I grabbed onto the back of his T-shirt and he sort of dragged me along.
That if you set me that a train, you'll find you missed the quick way to holler. So hurry, hurry now, it's coming. Do you hear those wheels are humming? Get with them on the board. Get on that A train. You'll find you got the quickest way to holler.
Well, I'm with a couple of cool dudes here now, the Blues Brothers. What's your real name?
Dennis Medway.
And?
Kevin Medway.
Okay, and why the outfits today?
Well, we're doing this today for a brother-in-law who died recently up in Leeds, and he was a great fan of the Blues Brothers, and so it's for cancer research. And the outfits, I think we misjudged the weather.
I was going to say, how are you finding it so far?
Hot. Very hot.
But a great atmosphere?
Brilliant atmosphere. Marvellous. They encourage you all the way round.
Okay, brilliant. Well done. Good luck.
Colin, it's hard enough doing the marathon normally, but you're juggling along the way. Why?
Well, it adds to the fun. It makes everybody cheer, everybody has a good time.
You're the first juggler I've seen, I must admit. You're doing it for charity?
Collecting money for Save the Children Fund.
How much money are you hoping to raise?
Well, about 500, I hope.
And is this your first marathon?
No, this is my 10th.
10 marathons?
Yeah,
Have you ever juggled on any of the others?
Once or twice. I did the Moscow Marathon. I juggled all the way around Moscow. That was good fun.
Well, keep going.
Okay, we'll see.
Don't drop them.
Well, that was Colin Frankham, a London lecturer. Finishes after 3 hours in the London Marathon, 3 hours 40 minutes in fact. 5,500 people, that's some good running.
It certainly is, 5,500 over the years. They've had 300,000 finishers, but this year their targets were to create more interest in the marathon, which national advertising helped create that. They wanted to raise more money for charity, and they wanted more spectators on the route, and they've got all of that. And finally they said, we'd love to have a British winner, and we've got one in Liz McColgan. So this London Marathon on a beautiful spring day, temperatures in excess of 20 degrees now, and really out there to be enjoyed by the spectators, not so much by the runners, but they always cater well for the runners. There's plenty of drinks out there, and it looks as though people have been prepared well. And now 3 hours and 40 minutes into the marathon, there he's checking his watch. He's not convinced about this, the timekeeping. He'll do his own, and they'll all do that.
Oh, ting-a-ling-a-ling, my oh my, well oh well, everybody keep gonna ring that bell now. Who's got the key? Man, who's got that key? Who's got the key? You know the key that I mean.
What's your name and where are you from?
I'm David Goodliff from Hawley in Surrey, and I'm running for the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals and Macmillan Nurses.
Oh, that's brilliant. I mean, you got the armour on. Is it a bit of a fight in this today?
It's jolly hot, Sue. I've done a marathon in 4 hours, but not dressed like this, I haven't.
So why did you decide to dress up for this one?
It's part in keeping with the fun, isn't it? Now, I've done it 4 times, so I like to join in with everything. I just want to thank an old lady who made this for me. She's in Southampton and she's over 80 and she put it all on a tailor's dummy and made it. Her name's Mary.
Excellent. Well, you're certainly making an impact and the crowd's loving it. Oh, you're certainly making an impact. Well done.
Mum, you're 70 yesterday. How do you feel? Today. Oh, it's today, I'm sorry. Oh, can you take the mask off for a second so we can hear you? Oh my goodness, a striking resemblance. Well, happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you running for charity?
Yeah, Kickstart.
And how much money are you hoping to raise?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I want to get a lot more if I can.
You did the New York Marathon 3 years ago.
Yeah.
How does this compare?
Oh, no, New York's got to be that bit better.
Well, keep going and happy birthday.
Thank you.
Now I recognise you. This isn't the first time, is it?
No, this is my 5th London one with the ladders. It's great out here. It's great. People, the weather's lovely.
But I mean, I can tell this is a real ladder. This isn't a fake one. This is the full weight.
This is for the wall. You listen out there. This is for the wall. 20 mile there. I'll get over it. Don't you worry.
Excellent. And who's your companion today?
Clark Kent from Enfield.
And you wisely elected not to carry a ladder. Huh?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, this is my 141st marathon today.
Are you going to help him if he gets a bit tired?
No chance. I'm not with the ladder man.
You're on your own.
I am better than the Superman and the ladder man.
Good luck. Good luck. Bye.
Well, the ladder man, I always wonder about those people. How does he get that ladder to the start, and what happens when he finishes at the end, and how does he get home in the tube carrying that ladder?
Well, a lot of people today carrying signs around. We always see a lot of those at the start in Blackheath. And one that we've been used to over the last few years said, "Never again, Ken." Well, we haven't seen it this year, but we had a poem sent it to us by Clive Dunico. And it reads, "Of all the tens of hundreds of men, you always manage to seek out Ken. But this year, please strive and strive to spot a runner whose name is Clive." So we've done it, Clive Dunico, from Leigh-on-Sea, who's still out there running, as have the rest of them, after 3 hours 45 minutes. One of the 1200, or two of the 1200, St John's Ambulance just going through the shot there. I believe this is what they call Vaseline Alley.
It is indeed, actually. You get all sorts of places robbed there. Actually, that never again, Ken. He's not appeared this time. Perhaps he meant it this time.
Well, he had the sign up 2 years ago and he appeared again last year, so perhaps somebody's put their foot down. But 31848, Danny Kay of Trowbridge from Avon Valley Runners. I don't think they'd be too impressed if he turned up for his local track meet wearing that.
Well, 39,000 were accepted for this race. The sick, the sorry, the lazy, people who lost ambition. Meant 12,000 dropped out, and that was expected, and just over 27,000 started. It was a record number of acceptances, but even then, tens of thousands were disappointed.
Well, and this site is what fills the entries for all the races that happen in Britain. The running boom enjoying a bit of a resurgence with this year's London Marathon. The 10k races are becoming popular and the 10 milers, but it's the only event where you can take part against the very elite. It's the only event in the world where you can take part and run against the champions of the world, take part in the same event. And I think that's a unique opportunity for these mass participation races. And there we, as we go along the Mall, where along the tower, they put a carpet down there to help them a little with the cobbles, but I don't know what benefit that gives after 22 miles.
Okay, what's your name today? Steve Mount. Steve, you're obviously in the army. Which division?
Yeah, I'm in the King's Own Border Regiment, based in Catterick.
Now, why are you jogging with this big pack on you? It weighs a ton, I can hardly lift it.
Yeah, it weighs nearly 40 pounds. I'm doing it to raise money for charity.
Which
the
charity?
British Legion. British Legion.
How much money are you hoping to raise?
I've raised £540.
Well, it's a formidable thing you're doing. It's like carrying a person on your back. I'm sure you're going to do it. Keep going, and I hope you raise lots of money.
Thanks very much.
Keep going, mate.
Still hundreds out on the course. I reckon about 6,000 have finished now. Means there's another 21,000 out there.
And the sight that everybody will want to see eventually, no matter how long it takes. The finish down the Mall. There's a man out there today doing his 100th marathon. 51-year-old John Curd from Southport. He said, this year I'm having trouble getting my weight down. Well, I'll tell you what, at the end of today, I bet he'd be down to his target weight. The conditions, hot but perfect. And friendships being formed all the way around the course. One year, there was even one couple who met on the course at the start and ended up getting married about 12 months later. 3082, just coming through the finish there. They get their medal. Jacqueline Luffin from the Netherlands will have enjoyed the experience, as will number 27,408, David Cobby from Haywards Heath. So many historic landmarks around this marathon course. That's what makes it so great for a lot of our overseas visitors. They've come from 112 countries today, and that's surely one of the most dramatic sights at the end of any road race anywhere in the world.
This shows how this London Marathon has captured the public's imagination. As Paul said, 112 nations represented.
from a childhood free.
Been taken by surprise, but the women's race off to a leisurely pace there. And we look into the field, we can see Liz McColgan there, number 101 of Scotland, and right behind her, last year's winner, Sobanska of Poland. And the two of them are quite content to sit happily in the middle of that pack. And in the lead, very early in this race, Anita Hackenstad of Norway, followed by Jane Salumai of Estonia. And these two, a few yards ahead of the main pack, but the main contenders are in that chasing group.
The athletes getting ready for the mass start, half an hour after the women's start. But first, the start of the wheelchair race.
64 competitors get away, a lower entry than in previous years. Most of the athletes training specifically for the shorter distance events on the track in the Paralympics in Atlanta later on this year. Most of the contenders for this year's championship are British. David Holding, number 1, starts as favourite. One of only 2 athletes to have won this twice before. The other, of course, Chris Hallam. Rose Hill and Tanni Gray going for women's honours.
They've packed there. Some people talk about fun runners. It's not much fun, and you have to work hard to run 26 miles and 385 yards. These, the elite men. Obviously a bit of panic at the start.
That's the fastest I've ever seen the officials move, but the runners weren't going to be taken back by that. This is a very competitive field. This is probably the strongest field at the elite end that they've ever had in the London Marathon. But the real London Marathon is here right before us. This is the bit that inspires the thousands to go out and start running again, enter into fun runs, and basically try and be part of the fun and the action of the Flora London Marathon.
Meanwhile, the leaders in the women's race approaching Cutty Sark, the first of the main tourist attractions on the route. That's just over 6 miles. And 3 well away, Brendan.
Well, it's a surprising group. It's Anita Hackenstad from Norway, Sultanova of Russia, and Jane Salumai of Estonia. And these 3 are going at a fair pace. And if you look down the road, you can see quite sizable gaps opening up at this early stages. And the main favourites are in that chasing group. And at this point, they look to be about a minute behind that leading group. And there's the chasing group being led by Ivanova, the former world 10-kilometre walking champion, last year's winner, just behind her, as the pacemaker sets them along the road in the men's race. 10 minutes running in the men's race, and Patricio of Portugal is doing a great job. There's Eamon Martin, former winner of the London Marathon, already sweating up a little early, but I know Eamon doesn't like these kind of conditions, and this, the women's leading group.
They really are pushing it. Hackenstad, the Norwegian, 1:10. Good athlete, 2 hours 32 runner, Sultanova from Russia, and Salumai of Estonia. Running about 2:24 pace, and meanwhile the men, well, they've gone off very, very exactly. The pacemaker, Placido, has to run the first half in about 63-64 minutes. He's on schedule.
Well, Hackenstad, the Norwegian, 50 minutes into this race and running like we've never seen her run before. And there's the chasing group with a group of Kenyans, Ivanova there, next to Liz McColgan, number 104. And the leading group, Patricio, is really stretching them along. He's running at 2 hours 8 pace, and he's just checking that the group are following him, and they certainly are following.
Well, the Norwegians really made a break. She's going for it, going very early too, keeping a fairly even pace. Hackenstad is now getting on for a minute ahead of that group behind, containing the favourites from most people's point of view.
And a big group in the lead in the men's race, all running at this pretty intense pace, 2 hours 8 pace. Some of these would be setting personal best if they kept it going, but I think some of them will be in trouble once they get to halfway, running at this particular pace in these warm conditions. The temperature's rising and the pace is rising.
Still the leader, the pacemaker, Carthido. The two Belgians are there, Rousseau, wearing number 2, and Hellybook, number 7. Siron, the holder, wearing 1, is with that leading group. So too Eamon Martin, former winner, and Paul Evans of Belgrave, in good form at the moment. He's 35, but still improving.
And now Hakenstad of Norway, 12 miles in 1 hour, 7 minutes and 12 seconds. Well, she's never ever run as fast as this in her life. She's never run a half marathon at this pace, and certainly to run a personal best in the early stages of a marathon, one's tempting fate when one tries that.
Hakenstad crossing Tarbridge just beyond the 12-mile marker. And going well, it must be said. Sultanova in second place, and in the wheelchair race,
that's David Holding looking for a hat-trick of victories in the London Marathon, just ahead of Jack McKenna. His best result in the London is 4th place, so he looks as though he's going well. And a surprise man there in 3rd place, Bogdan Kroll of Poland, but being chased by the women's pack.
And there Liz McColgan, and they down the road, they can't know how far Hakenstad's ahead, and we estimate she's over 1.25 minutes ahead at this point. Halfway, just coming up to halfway. Her personal best for a half marathon is 73 minutes, and she's certainly going to beat that. As we see Eamon Martin in trouble after 44 minutes in the men's race.
actually was pouring perspiration very early in this race. Doesn't like the heat. Paul Evans going well.
Some way behind them, David. The fun runners just going round Cutty Sark. That's about 6 miles. I hope they forgive me for calling them fun runners, because there's still a lot of serious athletes out there on the course. A massive number of athletes expected to finish between 3 and 4 hours. But look at this.
And the pacemaker, Patricio of Portugal, he's done an excellent job. He was asked to run 64 minutes for the first half, and there he's done his job. He steps off the road exactly at halfway in 1 hour, 3 minutes and 56 seconds, and that's perfect pacemaking. And now Vincent Rousseau, the class track runner in this field, takes over. And his teammate Eddie Hellybook behind him, and Domingos Castro behind him.
Very tightly bunched with the women's race. The Norwegians broken away. Hakenstad. She really is going for broke. Looking slightly laboured. One can't help feeling she may well pay the price in the later stages. And Liz McColgan now beginning to make a move. Followed by Angelina Kanana, the Kenyan. And deciding to close the gap. The leading men, Paul Evans of Great Britain, still there.
And all the big contenders are in that group. Denisio Siron's in that group, Vincent Rousseau's in the group, and Paul Evans doing extremely well to stay in contention with this outstanding field of distance runners. Herman Silva, who beat him in the New York Marathon, is literally right behind him there. And now Liz McColgan's going to gain renewed spirit. She's pulling away from Kanana and then quickly moves past Sultanova and into second place.
Without a glance at all, she's really cutting it back.
Just over 4 miles to go for the wheelchair specialists. Bogdan Kroll in second place, but still David Holding pushing ahead. And this is the most difficult part of the course. The organisers have done everything they can to smooth it out, but it is very tough indeed.
In the women's race, McColgan is gradually catching up, in fact quite quickly catching up. The Norwegian is really suffering now, that fast early pace. She's paying the inevitable price.
Well, it's impossible to run a personal best at halfway in a marathon and expect to continue at the same pace. And now let's watch Liz McColgan. She doesn't even take a glance in that way. Her concentration is deepening, and now she senses she's run the London Marathon 3 times. She's been 5th and 3rd, and could this be a big improvement for Liz McColgan? 2 years in the wilderness, 2 years of injury and illness, and now she's got a chance, and that's all she ever wants in a marathon.
In the men's race, Rousseau, a man who doesn't like heat, wearing the blue cap, the Belgian, the top European. He's going well. Alongside him is the young Kenyan, Kabiga, only 19.
Now Liz, where she loves to be, out in the front, just the road ahead of her, and the split time there, 5 minutes 27 for that 21st mile, and that's why Liz McColgan has caught the leader and running away from her now. She improved from 6 minutes, the leader, to 5.5 minutes.
Well, as the first side of the wheelchair competitors coming into the mile, we see David Holding heading towards this famous hat-trick of victories in the London Marathon. He won in '89, he's won in 1994. The surprise second place for Bogdan Kroll of Poland, and Jack McKenna will finish in third place, but a victory for David Holding. We understand that Tanni Grey leading the women's race comfortably. That's the Polish athlete coming through there. Magnificent victory though. And David Holding confirmed as the winner, the second fastest time ever. Kroll in second place, McKenna in third. Tanni Grey, a new course record, winning the women's championship.
Tanni, well done. A course record in 10 minutes ahead of Rose, your great rival. You can't ask for much more.
No, I'm really pleased. I was pushing really well in the first few miles, and I started to drop around Cutty Sark. So I thought I'd just go for it, put my head down, and worked really hard. So it's great. I had a really good day today.
Victory in the London Marathon is always very special, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great race. I didn't do it last year, and this year it was a great atmosphere out there. And I mean, there's so many people through the Isle of Dogs, and that really helped as well, because normally that's a bit of a lonely place. But it was absolutely fantastic, and the weather was just great too.
Marvellous performance. Meanwhile, the men packed tightly together. All the big names are there. Paul Evans bouncing along, Haley Brook. Rousseau, oh, and that's Serrano gone down, the Spaniard. It was quite a heavy fall, almost predictable because they were so close together.
And while the men's race is very tight, Liz McColgan now at 25 miles, 2 hours 21 minutes, and she's going to be very close to her personal best if you just keep up this pace. And you can see the support she's getting from the roadside. You can see she's working hard now, but she doesn't mind that. 25 miles behind her in the marathon. Liz McColgan answering her critics in the best way possible.
Well, she's been through illness and injury, was told she'd never run again, but she's contradicting that. Meanwhile, the men chasing hard. They started half an hour behind the women. That's Serrano, number 1. He's the champion, he's won it for the past 2 years and looking good.
And now Liz McColgan almost within sight of the finish. And the crowds are roaring along, and Liz McColgan deep in concentration, as she told us she always would be. She said the only difference between running a marathon in London and anywhere else is you get crowd support.
She's well on the way, and so too now Serrano, the champion from Mexico. He loves London, he's trying to make his break, and he's getting away from the 19 years old Kenyan quite quickly. Kabiga in second place. Paul Evans, meanwhile, having a battle for third and fourth place. And Serrano is looking so strong.
There, Liz McColgan, within sight of the finish now. In second place, Chepchumba of Kenya with her teammate Angelina Kanana, and the two of them are working very hard in concert. These are big races for the Kenyans, and the first time we've ever seen Kenyan women in the first 10.
McColgan now within sight almost of the finish. In the moment passes in front of Buckingham Palace, takes a sharp right into the mall, and then the short way to the finish. Liz, now 31. Member of the Dundee Hawk Hill Club. Well, she said she was getting back to her best, and she's proved it today, no doubt about it. The finish in sight. Now advised by Greta Weitz, who's won this race before, one of the world's greatest women marathon runners, who's cut down Liz's mileage and also made her work on personal strength. And I think it's showing. I believe for a while she was running tired and doing too much in training, but she's bouncing off the road and she looks a much stronger athlete. as Liz McColgan of Scotland and Great Britain comes home to win the Flora 1996 London Marathon.
Well, another great day for Britain's most accomplished distance runner, male or female. Let's enjoy these victories and let's hope we see a few more from Liz McColgan, hopefully before this year's out.
Meanwhile, Chepchumba has gone into second place. But Liz McColgan with a lot of time to celebrate. A winning time, 2 hours, 27 minutes, 54 seconds. Chepchumba finishes in second place. Good run by her. And in third place, coming through very late, last year's champion, Sabańska of Poland. With Kanana, the Kenyan next. Well, there the official result. McColgan's winning time confirmed at 2 hours 27:54.
There's a fantastic win in very demanding conditions. You're back at your best.
Yeah, I felt really good out there and it was absolutely amazing. The support was tremendous and, you know, I've put a lot of good work into it for this race and it's not nearly what I'm doing for the Olympics, but I knew I was in good shape and to come back, we were so slow at the halfway and I felt so terrible and it wasn't until I got into my own pace that I started to feel good. So I'm really pleased. Greta's did tremendous work with me and I'm really thankful to her. And like I've got to thank my husband too because he's the backbone of my sport and you know, I'm just really pleased that everything went okay. I felt great, my legs feel great, which is good. So that means that I could start going on with the preparation for the Olympics now.
And the winner for the last 2 years of the London Marathon. Determined piece of running, an excellent concentration, a class act, Dionisio Cerrón. Pulling away now. The last 5,000 metres have been incredibly fast. I'd love to get a split time for that. And in second place, Vincent Russo and Paul Evans, we can just see in the back of the shot, having a real battle for third place.
Actually, his last 5,000, I've just clocked it. I had the time passed to me. It was 14:37 about. That's fast, isn't it?
Well, that's exactly why he's destroyed them in the later stages. And that's the hard way to run the marathon. Fastest at the end. But we're looking at a man now that we will see very much in Atlanta, and Paul Evans booking his place for Atlanta too. The first Briton, and he'll be selected for the Atlanta Olympic Games. And I wonder whether he'll take up that selection. That's a debating point after today's run.
Cerrón now on familiar territory. He's won the race for the past 2 years. He loves London. He loves the atmosphere. And it's going to be yet another win for the Mexican. Last year he became the first man to win the London Marathon twice in history. Now he's gone one better. This is going to be the hat-trick. He's a very, very strong athlete. And the next time we'll see him will possibly be the Olympic Games. No longer pushing it hard, he knows the race is won. And the official time, 2 hours 10 minutes exactly. Now that the race for second place seems to have been settled, Russo, the top European, the Belgian who hates heat, it's about 75 at the moment. In fact, he's got a contract with the Belgian Federation that he doesn't run if the temperature's above about 18, 19. It is today, but he's survived it, and he gets second place. Very tired, but he's done well. And now the race for third place. And Paul Evans is winning it, the Belgrave Harrier, 35, probably in the form of his life. Looks back to see the Kenyan, 19 years old, Gabika, is beaten. And Paul Evans unofficially finished in 2 hours 10 minutes 40 seconds.
And here's Antonio Serrano coming home in fifth place, and he had a tumble a few miles ago, but he's done extremely well. And the result, Dionisio Cerrón of Mexico, 2 hours 10, Vincent Russo, Paul Evans, Kabiga of Kenya, and then Serrano the faller.
Well, earlier on today, 2,000 youngsters between the ages of 11 and 17 set off on the mini-marathon, 2.8 miles. They're the winners from the London boroughs. And the winners, David Weir and Tushar Patel of the wheelchair race. Well, David, I think there's every chance that you're watching there. I don't know, didn't know you had relations out there today, but a massive number of banners. The fun runners, now the fun really starts. Greenwich Park absolutely packed to the gunnels. Taking them some time to actually get through the start, but the organisers have done a terrific job.
In fact, it takes about 10 minutes from first to last to get through the mass start.
And on a day like today, they won't mind having to start with a gentle walk through the gates, turn left, and then 26 miles, 385 yards ahead of them.
This is one part of the course, especially with conditions the way they are today, that they really do want to start slowly. The streets of London being pounded by 27,000 pairs of feet today. There's Gary Mabbutt, a new fixture on the London Marathon list. The Flora London Marathon Football Challenge. Clubs from all over the major leagues in Scotland, Wales and England have taken up this challenge. About 100 runners there running in their football strips, raising money for charity.
The last few now leaving Greenwich Park. Marvellous piece of organisation, Brendan.
Well, to get them all started in 12 minutes is fantastic. And 6 miles up the road at the Cutty Sark, the crowds are out in support and the runners are out enjoying that. They're taking water at every stage, and the thrills and the enjoyment of the London Marathon there for everyone to see.
Well, there's about 500,000 bottles of water out on the course today, and every one will be valuable as far as these people are concerned. Now then, 33973, the camel. I don't know who the other chap is, but he's looking very chic. In fact, it's Ian Benstead from Blackheath and Graham Nash. He's the one with the hump. Well, still coming round Cutty Sark. They'll be flooding round here for hours yet. The Essex policemen, they're a regular feature of London Marathon.
How'd you like to run in that, Brendan?
Well, on a day like today, I wouldn't really like to run without that.
4:02:19 is Gary Bose from Barking, another policeman. Oh, well, here we go, another initiative in the London Marathon, the Heart to Heart Challenge, representing two of the major charities here. That's John Leslie just going through there. Will Carling, former England captain, enjoying it. Stephen Lane wins the 1 mile race, followed by one of the Chippendales, Kyle Benner. He comes in second, and Bobby Davro acting the clown as usual, but thoroughly enjoying himself here today.
The masses there now, thronging the Tower Bridge, the magnificent sight after 12 miles of the London Marathon.
And don't forget, by the way, the leaders, the elite runners, are passing underneath, some 10 miles in front at this stage.
Hi! Right, whose idea was this? what are you running for?
For children's cancer. Hoping to raise about £1,000.
Well, this costume can't be doing a lot in the heat.
Well, we swap over there now. She carries me for the second one.
Good luck. Well done.
The Dundee flyer, Jenny Woodallen, the oldest person in the race, 84 years young. And he took it up when she was 71 years old. Can you believe it?
Well, the winners from Dundee and the oldest woman's from Dundee. And now we're looking at very good club runners. These men heading for just about 3 hours in the marathon.
Going through the special carpet over the cobbles at the Tower of London.
Sweet and lovely, that's what you are to me. Sugar and spice and everything nice. You're all a girl should be. Soon we'll marry, you'll be my blushing bride. I will smile all the while you're by my side. I will smile.
I love it. Nobody ever used to sing to Bob Wilson at that point.
What's your name? Dave Bristol. Do you find it hard, Dave, with a bear on your back, jogging? Unbearable. That's the worst joke I've heard today. Why are you doing it with a bear on your back?
Oh, for them it's PCC. To publicise the Kite for Children campaign that's happening in May.
How much money do you hope to raise today?
It's not about money for me, really. It's about the publicity, really.
It must be extremely hard with all this heat today. Do you find the crowd are cheering you on?
Oh, they're wonderful, absolutely wonderful. But Pooh's having a bit of trouble with the wind.
Okay, see you later. Keep going.
Now I recognise you. This isn't the first time, is it?
No, this is my 5th London one with the ladders. It's great out here. It's great. People, the weather's lovely.
But I mean, I can tell this is a real ladder. This isn't a fake one. This is the full weight.
This is for the wall. You listen out there. This is for the wall. 20 mile there. I'll get over it. Don't you worry.
Excellent. And who's your companion today?
Clark Kent from Enfield.
And you wisely elected not to carry a ladder. Huh?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, this is my 141st marathon today.
Are you going to help him if he gets a bit tired?
No chance in helping ladder man.
You're on your own.
I am better than the Superman and the ladder man.
Well, all around the route, there are street parties going on. Several on the Isle of Dogs. This is the rush period, by the way. Peak finishing period between 3 hours 30 and 3 hours 40, about 100 a minute.
Boogie woogie now. Going back to Caldona's house just one more time. Ask her she be my girl. That's right. Yes, I want to win my baby. Got ready feet. She long, lean, and lanky, ain't nothing to eat, but she's my baby, and I love her just the same. You know I'm crazy about the baby. Caledonia is the name. Caledonia. Well, what makes you think it's too hot? I love you just the same. Man, I'm crazy about my baby. Caledonia is the name. Come on in there, blow your horn now.
Mile mark outside the City Pride pub where the band is playing. Well, they've still got 7 miles to go.
Teddy Boys there with a mobile discotheque.
Colin, it's hard enough doing the marathon normally, but you're juggling along the way. Why?
Well, it adds to the fun. It makes everybody cheer, everybody has a good time.
You're the first juggler I've seen, I must admit. You're doing it for charity?
Collecting money for Save the Children Fund.
How much money are you hoping to raise?
Well, about 500, I hope.
And is this your first marathon?
No, this is my 10th.
10 marathons?
Yeah,
have you ever juggled on any of the others?
Once or twice. I did the Moscow Marathon. I juggled all the way around Moscow. That was good fun.
Well, keep going.
Okay, we'll see.
Don't drop them.
Well, that's part of the agony and the ecstasy of this day. You'll be encouraged to stand up and stroll through to the finish. Just going past HMS Belfast now. Another magnificent feature, as well as the beefies, of course. 19476, Paul War of Skelton. And this is tough. Look at this. They're even, the organisers here, superbly organised they are. Just wrapping it up in terms of rolling up the carpet by the Tower of London. Slowed down to a walk. These people here, somebody said the other day, there are 2 types of muscle fibre, slow twitch and fast twitch, and there are some people who've got no twitch. I think that's some of the people at the back today, but they're still having a great time.
That's Stephen Thompson, comes from Leon C. Oh, we all believe that.
Bit of divine intervention for the masses still streaming through the streets of London. and still being supported by hundreds of thousands of spectators. Run for Ron, our late colleague Ron Pickering. A massive amount of money has been raised for charity through the London Marathon for Jean Pickering's foundation over the last few years.
Actually, the Trust does help young athletes, very young athletes indeed, with things like spikes, watches, and Ron loved this London Marathon.
The London Marathon loved him as well. 3:5. Brian Sayers of Haverhill. Boy, oh boy, I bet he's lost a bit of weight today. Yes, he says he's finished. Well, the Musketeers, part of the French Royal Revolution, and there's our own royalty here. 3:10.79. John Hoskin, who comes from Chelmsford. Well, there's about £60 million has been raised since the London Marathon started in 1981. Some estimates on this year say 7 million will be raised today. That's a huge amount, all because of the efforts of people like this. Mickey and Minnie Mouse there, a little hug and a kiss and a thank you.
Actually, we've got one of the blind now with a partner running with him, James Hughes from Liverpool, and John Courtney, also obviously from Liverpool.
The trick was, I made a big mistake doing this today. I ran Boston on Monday, and I did all my energy on that. This is my personal worst, but I did it. But it was very difficult, very difficult. A nice day, a bit too warm.
Mark Wallace, alias Fred Flintstone, can you put into words how you feel having just finished the marathon?
Yabba dabba doo!
Perfect. Jill, what do you think of your mummy?
She's ace.
She's ace. That says it all. What do you think? How did you get on today?
Oh, I tell you what, the support was absolutely marvellous all the way round. My aim was just to finish this, my first one. And everybody's been so fantastic, so thanks to everyone who's helped me.
And what is it like to be greeted by your daughter?
Well, she ran the last 800 yards with me. She was waiting for me, and marvellous.
It's very nice after you've run a marathon to put your feet up. How are you feeling?
Horrible. Tired. Dead.
And you've come a long way to feel horrible and tired, haven't you?
Yes, we thought it was hotter, and we thought Spain was hot, and this is much worse.
Which part of Spain have you come from?
From Madrid.
And you'll be very happy to go back, I would think.
Yes. We thought it was rainy and cloudy. And it is.
Well, it's been very nice to see you and very nice to have a chat. I could have done with a rest myself. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you next year running.
Adios.
Adios.
Well, a lot has happened in the London Marathon since '81, and John Disley and Chris Brasher must be very proud of their brainchild. They declared when it comes to organising big events, Britain is best, and there's no doubt about that at all.